I greet you and I will salam alaikum. Salam alaikum. I greet you in the name of our country, in the name of our movement, the SPLM, in the name of our Tujamma, the NDA, and in the name of the New Sudan. I'm happy particularly to be here to address you today because نحن في الحركة in the SPLM we have been, since we signed the Naivasha protocols on May 26th, we have been moving around in the New Sudan, explaining and sensitizing people. Our aim is to explain and brief our constituencies in all parts of the Sudan, in the south, in the north, in the west, in the east, in the far north, and in the center of what is it that has been signed, the peace agreement, and how can we use it in order to effect democratic transformation of our country. And that's what I would like to do today. Take this occasion to continue what we are doing at home, to brief and inform the Sudanese diaspora of the peace process and the peace agreement. Because we want this peace agreement, unlike the Addis Ababa agreement and other peace agreements that have been signed in the Sudan, to be owned by the people and for the Sudanese people to use it for their own empowerment. Because if the agreement is not owned by the people, then anybody can come around and dishonor it. As Abel Elier has written, 2 minute agreements dishonored. So we want this agreement to be owned and used by the people for their own benefit. الناس يستخدم لأغراضه. That way they will be able to defend it, and that way the agreement can last. The 6 protocols or the 6 protocol agreements that we have signed in Machakos and in Naivasha, if and when implemented, will lead to solving the fundamental problem of the Sudan. It is not peace per se, because even a graveyard is peaceful. And so when I say that, when I talk about the peace agreement in the Sudan, I cannot disconnect it with the need for fundamental change in the Sudan. Because peace within the context of the old Sudan is not peace, but a continuation of war in a different form. Therefore, it is important for me to revisit the problem of the Sudan itself, the problem that we set out to solve, so that we put the peace process in the context of solving what I have called the fundamental problem of the Sudan. So what is the problem with the Sudan? Al-Junubin in the past have called it Mashkila al-Junub, and we have disagreed with a lot of people on this, because we have said that there is no Mashkila al-Junub. What is the problem in the south? At least Southerners should not be talking about Mashkila al-Junub. I figuratively say that is as old ugad fi ragaba. Muni how mashkila fi surah. If somebody comes and sits on my back, who is the problem? The person being sat on or the person sitting on? If the person sitting on me, that is the problem, not I being sat on. So it cannot possibly be a problem of Mashkala al-Junub. I said it in all objectivity, that it is not the problem of Southern Sudan. If you want to give it a label, and when I came here, I believe it was in 1995, I said if you want to give the problem a geographical name, then the Mashkala al-Shumal, the Mashkala al-Junub, the Mashkala al-Shumal. وما شمال كله شمالين كانوا تعبانين ده مشكلة السلطة في الخرطوم. That is a fundamental problem of the Sudan. It is not the problem with Darfur, or a problem with Juba Nuba, or a problem with Bija, or a problem with Nubians in the far north, or a problem with Al-Masakin في Umbadda or في Umdurman. It is a problem of governance in Khartoum itself. زي ما أنتم بيعرف, we have had nothing but war since independence, as if independence has been a curse. Because من سنة 55 لكاد 72 هنا في الحرب. Some of us were born in war, grew up in war, went to school in war, and grew gray hair in war. عجزنا في الحرب. نحن في سنة 83 we changed gears. احنا غيرنا اتجاه in terms of the answer we gave. We said, no, it is not the problem of the Sudan. In our view, the problem is the attempt by various Khartoum-based regimes to build a monolithic Arab Islamic state to the exclusion of other parameters of the Sudanese diversity as constituting the fundamental problem of the Sudan and defining the Sudanese conflict. The vast majorities of the Sudanese people are therefore excluded from governance and are marginalized in the political, economic, and social fields. And this provokes resistance by the excluded, the neglected, the marginalized, and the oppressed. The Arab Islamic State ends up being imposed by force. Governance in the Sudan became chauvinistic and eventually fascist. It is clearly shown by the situation in Darfur, relying on brute force for the ruling NIF elite to maintain its power, rather than by consent of the governed through a consensual social contract. And when I say an Islamic Arab state, I'm not talking in derogatory terms at all, because I have made it very clear before that our vision, our ideology of society is that نحن كلنا سودانيين. We are all Sudanese, whether we are of Arab origin or of African origin. نحن كلنا سودانيين. Should this insistence on our Arabness? Let us become Sudanese. What is wrong with this?